The live events kicked off in 2020. I think it is something that was quite nice that happened out of the COVID-19 crisis. But in addition to that, we also kicked off our virtual technology clubs around the country, and this was spearheaded by Brian, who's on the call with us now. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Kyron, how are you?
Yeah. So
Um,
this is something that, as I said, Brian kicked off, and really what we wanted to do is allow our service users an opportunity to come together and discuss technology, their own technology needs, and how they use their technology in day to day, and be a support for each other. Because how I use my types of assistive technology is completely different to, let's say, how Brian might use it, or how Joe might use it, or whatever the case may be. And there's great learning from your friends. There's great learning from other people out there. So the virtual technology clubs kicked off earlier this year, and we're running them nationwide at this point, Brian. Isn't that right?
that's right, yeah, and we're running them in all of the regions as well. So, I mean,
Mm,
whatever region of the country you're in, there's no excuse. You can join the local club. And again, I suppose one of the advantages to them being virtual is that even if you're not comfortable in your own region, or if, for example, you hear of your friends are in the Galway club, or your friends are in are in the Dublin club, then even if you're in Limerick, for example, you can still join the
mm,
virtual club in Dublin with your friends. And as you say, Kyron, there's been great, fantastic learning in it. And one of the main advantages, as far as I'm concerned, is the peer learning. I
mm.
mean, okay, we might have one of the NCBI labs, technology workers facilitating, I suppose is the word, the club. The actual learning is coming from the actual members. So therefore, and again, I mean, like the participants decide what areas of technology we're going to discuss next week. So,
Mhm.
for example, in the Cork and Kerry Club tomorrow, even though I won't be there, now what I am going to suggest is perhaps that we have a look at some of these. We have some of the look at these doorbell video callers. It's technologies like that enable independence in the house, and that I suppose in the case of that particular piece of technology, it enables greater security and safety in the home as well. Or again, like Joe's, we are feeding off of the live events as well in the various technology clubs, and we are using the different subjects or topics that have been covered in the live events to actually feed the information being disseminated in the actual clubs themselves, which is good. And they've really, really been successful. I mean, we've had up to 12 to 15 members of each individual club. There's been a lot of interaction, and not okay. The emphasis, I suppose, is on technology, but there's been a lot of camaraderie developed as well, and friendship developed through the clubs as well. And again, it's something that we're hoping to grow in 2021, I suppose. I mean, all right, 2020 might be the year that we started clubbing. You started clubbing with NCBI, but we're
Let's
definitely
start
going to
clubbing.
keep it going next year.
Yeah.
And get involved, have your say. And again, I mean, technology is the great enabler, and through these technology clubs, hopefully, we can enable you to use your technology that little bit better and to greater
So how
independence.
how do you join a technology club?
Well, again, as I say, I mean, we're in each region, but that's not necessarily the focus either. But if you contact your local labs trainer, then they can obviously help you get involved with the actual club. Again, I mean, you can contact your local CRW. A third option or a third avenue would be to send an email to labs@ncbi.ie, and they can put
Hmm.
you in contact with your local club, or again with any of the virtual clubs that you'd like to join. And again, I mean the newsletter that JP and Joe are sending out every week. There's always information in that as well, in that technology newsletter on the clubs. So that's another avenue that you could maybe look into.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, just to remind everyone, if as Brian said, if you do want to take part in one of our technology clubs, they meet once a week, Brian, isn't it?
Once a
And
week, and it's at 12 o'clock. I mean, the ideal would be at 12 o'clock on a Wednesday, but again,
mm,
as you know, these have evolved throughout the year. We've been finding that some of them they might just prefer to maybe run at 11 or at 1 on the Wednesday. Or what's happening as well is I suppose they've been a victim of their own popularity or their own success, and we might have too many people in the one area, so we might have to run a second club. That
mm.
has happened as well. But generally, it's an hour once a week, and it's usually around 12 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. So I would encourage everyone everyone to take part. The feedback that we're getting from service users has been really positive, and well done to yourself, Brian, for kicking off this initiative, and all the NCBI Labs team for supporting them as well.
Well, definitely, it's been a huge success on the part of the labs, and each person has contributed hugely to its success. So
brilliant.